signal is great, but it's not always, amazing. And don't forget, today is Wet Nose Wednesday. There's a dog called Bloom, which needs a loving home. Visit the McCamey Animal Center, Chattanooga. Go to McCameyAnimalCenter.org, and it's Sabrina's Wet Nose Wednesday. Bloom needs a loving home. Very, very cute dog. It's actually a really, really, really cute dog. It's white and black, and it looks to be about medium, small-ish size. Reminds me of a dog I had a long time ago. McCameyAnimalCenter.org. That's all one word. That's McCamey, by the way, McCameyAnimalCenter.org. Bloom needs a loving home, and it's always a nice thing to adopt a pet. But I should remind you, by the way, adopting a pet is, of course, a lifelong commitment for the life of that pet, right? Like it's not something that you just do for Christmas. So be sure that you actually can take care of that animal for its whole life, right? Because that's important. You don't want to adopt a pet and have it just be a seasonal thing, because that's traumatic for both the dog and for the person perhaps you've bought the dog for. It's not a toy. It's a lifelong commitment for the rest of the life of that animal. So it's Sabrina's Wet Nose Wednesdays today. Bloom needs a loving home. Visit McCamey Animal Center, Chattanooga, McCameyAnimalCenter.org to see Bloom. So today is Wet Nose Wednesday. And it is a wet Wednesday, isn't it? It's a really wet Wednesday, and it's unfortunately not looking like a white Christmas. It's looking like a kind of warm and wet Christmas. I don't know why. I do know why, because 'tis his will, but still, it's a really wet day today. It's going to be a wet day tomorrow, and it's going to be a wet day on Christmas as well. But I was just reading, actually, about how that can sometimes mean that it's going to be a colder January/February. So we might be seeing sort of a flux where it gets hotter and then way colder during the next few months. We've seen stuff like this back in the 70s too. So this is not like it's a brand new thing. This has happened before, but I'm really interested to see just how it affects us, because the weather is nice. The temperature is really nice. And if you like rain like I do, then the weather's nice too. So really, this is like biking weather almost. It's kind of odd. It's like biking and kayaking and hiking weather, if you're into that sort of thing. So we have a very outdoor community here in Chattanooga. Chattanooga is a very outdoor-oriented city. So there's a lot to do. Just because it's Christmas time doesn't mean that you can't go out and go hiking and go biking and kayaking and paddleboarding and all sorts of other things that you would normally do. So it's still, nice season for that. I have to get used to the idea, though, of wearing shorts and a t-shirt on Christmas Day. That just seems weird to me, but you know what? You do what you got to do. I don't know. It's weird. Like, it's really weird to me. I've been living here all my life, and I don't recall it being this way ever before, but I have a really bad memory. So maybe I'm just weird, Maybe I'm just a little bit bizarre. But there's a lot going on in tech news and in national news and just the world in general. So we're going to try to cover all of it today here on Binary on Hot News Talk Radio. Thanks for joining us. You can call in, by the way, 423-800-8949. That's 423-800-8949 is the number to call in here at Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. And we are always here, of course, at hotnewstalkradio.com as well. Hey, something that I was alerted to from Ars Technica is that it is the season, according to Ars Technica, for getting apps. Apparently, there's a lot of iOS and OS X apps for sale for cheap. So, according to Ars Technica, if you find yourself in possession of an iTunes gift card later this week, there is good news. iOS and Mac app developers are all offering discounts on some actually kind of good apps and games this week. Real Mac Software has teamed up with other developers to bring you App Santa, which is a big sale on productivity apps. Scanner Pro for 99 cents, which is normally $6.99. Launch Center Pro for $1.99. PC Calc, or PCalc, I should say, for $6.99. Calendar 5, all sorts of stuff. Tweetbot, which I guess is like TweetDeck or Hootsuite. Some games too, which I get excited about because I play quite a few games. I've been playing Star Wars. What is the name of it? Because I've been in a really Star Wars mood recently since the movie came out, and I watched it twice already. What's the name of the game? Dark Forces? No, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. That's what I've been playing. Really good game. Very nostalgic for me because I played the heck out of the demo when I was a little kid on the Mac, which is the only game I could play on the Mac back in the day. Put it a whopping 25 frames per second on my white iMac G4, the one that had the they called it the lamp Mac, the desk lamp Mac, because it had that weird swiveling monitor. Yep, that's what I played it on, and those were the days, man. Those were the days. So the folks at Mac Rumors also say that you can get some pretty cool games for your Mac for cheap now. Bastion is 99 cents. Don't Starve Pocket Edition is $2.99. Infinity Blade 3 is 99 cents. Lara Croft Go is $1.99. And I Am Bread, 99 cents. Final Fantasy 6 and 7 are $7.99 and $10.99 respectively, which is pretty cool because I actually have Final Fantasy on Steam and I've been really enjoying that. Let's talk about games for a little bit actually, because that's something that I have quite a bit of experience with, and I never really talk about games for some reason. Like, I know that maybe you're not interested in games, but this is Christmas, and if you have kids, I guarantee that your kids are interested in computer games or video games of any sort. So a good gift is actually a game. I know I would have enjoyed that when I was your child's age. I would have really enjoyed that. So let's talk about what gifts we can give last second, because day after tomorrow is Christmas. This is something you can buy last second, run out and get it, and you're done. Okay, so what can we do? What can we get real quick? Well, on Steam, and that's for PCs and Macs and Linux too. Go to Steam and you can actually gift games, believe it or not. So you can buy a game and gift it to another person. So say your kid is talking about what game he wants. Well, you can actually gift it to that child of yours, whichever child that is, on Steam. So all you got to do is go to steam.com. Actually, it's store.steampowered.com. Do a Google search for Steam. It's the first thing that comes up. STEAM. Like, evaporating water. And what you can do from there is you can actually, download the game, or rather you can buy the game, I should say, and you can actually gift it to another person. There will be an option at checkout to buy as a gift. So that's a great way to get it to your loved one, be it your husband, your wife, your child, your cousin, your nephew, your niece, whichever, your sister maybe, because I've been thinking about getting some games for my sister, some little indie games for my sister because she likes those. Minecraft is actually a game she does not have, which is not on Steam. Keep that in mind. So say you're wanting to give the gift of Minecraft to somebody, you do have to buy a subscription. It's not really a subscription. You do have to buy it's like a one-time thing. You're buying the game, but you get all the updates that come with it. So you can buy that as a gift on Mojang.com. It's MOJANG.com, or just do a quick Google search for Minecraft and it's the first thing that comes up. You can actually buy the game as a gift for somebody else. All you need to do that, by the way, is the email address or the Steam name of the other person, which is pretty easy to get. Just say, I need to email you something. What's your email address? It's not hard to do. So that's my tip from me to you as someone who plays games to someone who maybe doesn't. That's a good gift, because we often sort of discount game. We're like, oh, nobody play, that's for kids. Well, we have kids, right? Like, there are kids that we know. Maybe your niece, your nephew, cousin, whatever, friend's kid, maybe. Hey, it's not a bad thing to buy some games. In fact, computer games are quite stimulating. There are a lot of games that are very creative that are really just good. They're good to play. Minecraft has actually been used in schools because it's just that creatively stimulating. It's a really good game. Minecraft is, I think, one of the better games for a kid to play. Another game that I really like is Myst, M-Y-S-T, but that one's kind of older, so not going to work so well. But the number to call in is 423-800-8949. That's 423-800-8949. That's again 423-800-8949. Speaking of gifts, by the way, Woodhouse Day Spa has a special going on right now where they are currently doing the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. And you don't have much time for this now. Facebook, go to the Facebook page. That's Woodhouse Day Spa Chattanooga Facebook page. You can participate in this. Every $100 gift card or higher, you'll get a $15 bonus gift card. Every $200 gift card or higher, you'll get a $25 bonus gift card. And for every $300 gift card or higher, you will get a free luxurious throw, which is in stores only while supplies last. So that's a great way to give the gift of a wonderful experience at a day spa. I'm a guy. I like to think of myself as not really a man's man because I don't do a whole lot in terms of physicality, but I like to think of myself as rather masculine, right? I'm a pretty masculine kind of guy. And I'll admit that even I would be interested in a trip to a day spa. Even I will admit that sounds kind of nice. So, day spa is a nice gift. It's a cool sort of thing. Why not, really? Why not? Hey, did you hear about the hoverboard thing? The whole big scandal about the hoverboards and how they're bursting into flames and nobody really knows why? Kind of weird. So I have an explanation in case you're curious about it. The hoverboards, which are not hoverboards, by the way, they're just like, remember the Segways that were really popular for a little while there for some reason? It's like Segways, but without the handle that you hold on to. So think of a Segway, but not. And they're called hoverboards because that's sort of like the brand name, but they're a really popular gift for a little while there, and probably still are. I bet a lot of people are going to be opening up Christmas presents, and there are going to be hoverboards there. So I've seen people at the mall on hoverboards, not real hoverboards, obviously. I've seen people just walking down the street wearing them. I've seen all sorts of just people wearing and using these hoverboards around town. So obviously not all of them have burst into flames. Well, we do have an explanation for why they're bursting into flames, just in case you're curious. And this is just sort of to dispel some rumors, I guess, and to help calm people down. Well, here's the thing. Hoverboards, according to CNET, have become some of the hottest news stories this holiday season and one of the hotter gifts, too. Fires, though, have started in all sorts of different circumstances. According to owners and witnesses, some of the hoverboards exploded while charging, others while riding, and one while it was just sitting in an empty kiosk in a Washington shopping mall. Kind of weird, right? Well, here's the thing. No one really knows exactly why it's happening. There's not any single cause. There's no surefire way to avoid a hoverboard blowing up on you. They all seem to come from thousands of interchangeable factories in China, or any label on the box that guarantees a project won't explode. It can't really make that. So much of the advice that we've seen issued, according to CNET, by local fire departments and government agencies is not likely to help. Some officials have been warning that you should only use the charger that comes in the box, which seems like pretty common sense, except that they tend to use a plug that you're not going to find on any other sort of device. It's a proprietary charging plug. So that seems like a stupid tip, right? But many officials are now warning against overcharging them. But that's not a thing. Overcharging these days, all phones, all digital devices these days have circuitry which ensures you don't overcharge your phone. You actually can't overcharge your phone these days. That really doesn't happen. Especially if it's a newer phone. Lithium-ion batteries work in such a way that that's probably not going to happen. Same goes for like any device that uses lithium-ion batteries, laptops, whatever. It's not like nickel-cadmium was back in the day, a long time ago, 90s. And I still see some technicians who think that you still can, but you can't. There's a science to it, and the science with overcharging lithium-ion batteries these days just doesn't add up. But that's how they work these days. You can't really overcharge them. So that's not really a problem. So my advice would be, and I hate to say this, but regarding the hoverboards is I would not use it. As fun as they are, because I've ridden one, they're really fun. As fun as they are and as cool as they are, the whole risk of a thing you buy blowing up out of nowhere and burning down your house seems to outweigh the fun factor, right? Like, they're really cool. I will admit the hoverboards are really neat. They're really cool. They're inexpensive. They're neat. They're fun. But the whole risk thing of it might blow up and burn down my house, and I kind of need my house, that seems to outweigh the whole thing. That seems to outweigh the whole fun factor for me. So, maybe I'll just avoid them. And I hate to say it, but I would recommend that you do the same. If you were thinking about buying a hoverboard last minute, honestly, even though the occurrences have been pretty low, I'd have to say maybe that's not the best idea. As cool as they are, that's kind of not the best idea. Just again, because it blowing up doesn't seem to be worth it. The whole factor of like this device, which I bought as a present, might explode and potentially kill me, my pets, my family, whatever. No, we'll avoid that. The scientific reason for the burning, I'm pretty sure, is because lithium actually degrades when it's exposed to oxygen. It oxidizes very quickly. So if there's some sort of rupture in the battery pack and the lithium gets exposed to air, it can combust because fire is rapid oxidation. So if the lithium-ion batteries rapidly oxidize, which any battery can do if pierced, that is probably why it's happening. And because plastic burns pretty easily, that's why. We've heard rumors, we've heard, horror stories before about people's phones blowing up in their hands or burning in their hands. That's highly unlikely to happen nowadays just because the engineering is so good. It can happen with some weird, cheap Chinese battery that you might buy, but let's be honest, all batteries you buy nowadays, unless it's like from Tesla, are going to be cheap Chinese batteries. That's just how they are nowadays. Lithium batteries are extremely cheap to manufacture, fortunately, even though we are kind of running out of lithium on the planet, oddly enough. But lithium batteries are fortunately very inexpensive to manufacture. The problem is that once, again, exposed to air, they tend to degrade very quickly and potentially burn, but that's highly unlikely to happen. I mean, how many people do you know who have had a battery explode on them? How many people do you know who have had a lithium-ion battery inside their phone just blow up in their hand? It doesn't happen very often. It's like 1 in 3 million chance that that'll ever happen to you. Extremely low. You're probably more likely to be hit by lightning or eaten by a shark, which is also very low, or even die in a terrorist attack, which is also very low. The odds of these things happening are so low that you may as well just never leave your house and wrap yourself in bubble wrap if you're so afraid of things like these happening. It's the chances are very low. Hoverboards, however, I will say there does seem to be some sort of design flaw with them. I don't know what it is, but there does seem to be some sort of design flaw with these hoverboards that's causing there to be some sort of problem that actually does cause potentially lethal issues. So again, I wouldn't risk it personally. Just my opinion. I wouldn't risk it personally. Do your own assessing, obviously, but my tip would be just don't buy them. And CNET advises the same thing too. It says your best bet might simply be not buy a hoverboard at all. U.S. airline industry has already decided to not take any chances. American, Alaska, Delta, Hawaiian, JetBlue, Southwest, and United Airlines have all banned hoverboards on passenger flights. No word, oddly enough, from Pan Am. Who knows why? So in case you're curious, it appears to be just they overheat and blow up, and it's weird. But that's the gist on the hoverboards, in case you were curious. That's the gist on those hoverboards that seem to be burning and potentially injuring people. Have you seen the video, by the way, of the one that started burning at the kiosk in Washington in the mall? They had to send the people over with fire extinguishers. It's so weird to see fires in big enclosed indoor spaces. It's just bizarre. But anyway, this is AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. We're always here at hotnewstalkradio.com. Be sure to get us on the TuneIn Radio app, by the way. All you got to do is, I'll help you out with this. Let's go to our phones. I got my smartphone in my hand. I'm going to go to my home screen and then my app store. And I'm going to go to my search bar in my, app store and hit the search button. Right now it's giving me all the most popular apps. Hit the search button and I'll search for Tune, T-U-N-E, if I can spell right, T-U-N-E-I-N, Tune In. And hit search and install that, and there we go. So now I've got the TuneIn Radio app on my phone. So all I need to do to listen to Hot News Talk Radio is open up the TuneIn Radio app, and now I can listen to Hot News Talk Radio streaming live from the studio to your eardrums on my phone. And because I just opened it, it's going to start blasting into my ears. Here it goes. I got my smartphone in my hand. Move. Get off. There we go. So now I can listen to myself if I want to. And you can leave comments actually on Hot News Talk Radio on TuneIn. All you got to do is go to the comments section, which is indicated by the little speech bubble, sort of a square looking speech bubble up top. Hit that, and then you can sign in to comment actually. So very handy stuff. And the cool thing with TuneIn is you can have a bunch of different stations on TuneIn, which obviously Hot News Talk Radio should be the only one you use, but you can subscribe to a bunch of different stations on TuneIn, and it's actually a really nice experience. It's really great. So I'm really excited about TuneIn. I'm really excited about the whole future of the internet and internet entertainment. The whole field seems to be very forward moving, very quickly too. I've read before that if cars were developed as quickly as computers have been, then we would all be driving at light speed, and it would be cheaper to dispose your car and buy a new one than it would be to buy a new tank of gas, whatever type of fuel one of those quantum cars might use. Really exciting stuff. I'm excited about the future. We're going to talk a little bit more about the future here on Hot News Talk Radio and Binary, AM 1240.
I'm blowing everything up. We're starting over. I'm doing a new show. I want guys who push it to the middle of the table and go over the top. Take a risk, fail miserably. I'm right, and I'm not wrong, and I'll never back down. Conflict works. Allow it.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Right here and everywhere. Noon Eastern.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
While politicians debate climate change and taking our guns, they leave America vulnerable to disaster. You need to act now to keep your family safe and prepared. Do you have an emergency plan? Do you have long-term storage food? Do you have the skills and mindset to survive a disaster? If not, what are you waiting for? Call P5 Preparedness right now, 423-602-2175. Do you honestly think the government is going to help you? If you do, you are wrong, dead wrong. Don't get caught unprepared. Let the experts at P5 Preparedness get you ready for any emergency or disaster situation. Today, we offer a wide range of classes for the beginner on how to prepare, as well as the expert prepper. We stock a wide range of supplies, including long-term storage food, water filtration, outdoor gear, tactical gear, and plate carriers. P5 Preparedness, East Brainerd Road between I-75 and Gun Barrel Road. You will see the Army Deuce and a Half truck, 423-602-2175, 1309 Panorama Drive, Chattanooga. P5preparedness.com.
Lay your burdens down at the Woodhouse. Leave all your worries at the door. Just take some time. We're transforming lives.
Happy holidays
at the Woodhouse.
from the Woodhouse Day Spa. Holiday gift cards available at chattanooga.woodhousespas.com.
You have an event coming up for the holidays, or maybe it is your daughter's wedding, or maybe just a church or office party. Then you need to select Choo Choo Barbecue. That's correct, Choo Choo Barbecue. Whether you like pork, chicken, or beef. Oh yes, Choo Choo Barbecue with their savory rub flavor. Oh my goodness, it's making me hungry right now. You add in their delicious smoked aroma, and you have set the table for a perfect meal with Choo Choo Barbecue. That's right, Choo Choo Barbecue. Why don't you give them a call right now? 423-843-9554. That's 843-9554. Call 423-843-9554. Choo Choo Barbecue. You know where it's located, off of Hickson Pike, right there at the Valley Brook area. Don't kid yourself. Your stomach is already on the way.
Don't be a victim. Arm yourself today at Carter Shooting Supply and Indoor Range, offering the finest selection of personal firearms and ammo, especially the hard-to-find ammunition. You know the police can't protect you. They show up after the crime is committed. The ability to protect yourself, your family, and when called upon, your nation is enshrined in the United States Constitution. Shop the largest selection of shooting supplies on their online store. CarterShootingSupply.com. Carter Shooting Supply and Indoor Range. The largest and cheapest selection in Chattanooga. 6210 Highway 58, Harrison. Call 344-1099. That's 344-1099. Keep your family safe this Christmas by buying them a certificate for Carter Shooting Supply Tennessee Handgun Permit Class. And stop by today to consult one of their qualified experts. They'll fit you perfectly to the firearm that meets your needs. Call 344-1099. You'll always find the widest selection of new and used firearms at Carter Shooting Supply and Indoor Range. 6210 Highway 58, Harrison. Call 344-1099.
The Fed raising rates, China's economy in trouble. Don't let headlines derail your long-term financial strategy. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Patrick Neal. At Edward Jones, we provide the tools for a reasoned, disciplined approach to investing. Stop by my office next to the Target Shopping Center in Hickson, or call me at 423-870-7894. That's